So again, this is number 4 of 5 of my free Healthy Habit webinars that I've been doing. Tonight, I was supposed to have a guest, Gretchen, and she is also a certified health coach, but something has come up, so she is not joining me. So you're just going to get me tonight. Um, on that note, let me share my screen so that we can get started. So, um, over the last week, I'm doing a series of 5 webinars. I started last week with number 1, finding your why, and then moving all the way through to today. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And tomorrow night will be my last live free webinar. Each webinar has a great companion piece to it that helps you work through what we've discussed in the webinar and helps you dig deeper and really create some success and some lifelong transformation for you. So my goal in my life my mission is to help those around me achieve lifelong transformation, one healthy habit at a time. And I love that because really the way we change is by changing one thing at a time. If we're trying to do too much at once, we get overwhelmed. And if we just do one thing at a time, it helps us to make that switch gradually and in a way that we can sustain. So last Wednesday, we started off with how is your life? Evaluating that with a well-being survey. Last Thursday, my husband, Jared, he joined me and we talked about being clear about why you want to make these changes. Now, you can use all of these principles with just about anything. It does not have to be with changing your health. It could be changing any habit that you want to change or acquiring any habit you want to acquire. One of the big things with knowing why you're doing something is because you need to have that internal motivation to make that permanent change. So being clear about your why. Saturday, my husband joined me again and we talked about identifying, digging down more into what you really want to accomplish. And now tonight, we're going to talk about creating what you want. So taking everything we've done up to this point and working it together to really create a good, solid plan. Now, tomorrow night, one of my awesome and amazing clients, Stephanie Sparks, will be joining us as we talk about building a healthy mindset. And really, if we can have a healthy mindset, then all of these other things we've talked about will work towards our good. So creating what you want. I wanted to share a little bit about Gretchen. I was going to have her tell you a little bit about her story. She started off needing to get physically healthy and mentally healthy and financially healthy. And that picture that you see there right under the word journey, that's her today. She has had an amazing transformation. And while, yes, there's been a physical transformation, really, I've been able to see her grow and become and build an amazing health coaching practice and be able to serve her family and her children even better than she was able to before because she has her physical and her mental health. Anyway, she is an amazing person, somebody I love working with. Here's where we're going to start. Before you can know where you are going, and I've said this just about every one of these webinars so far. You need to know where you are. What is your current reality? And then you need to know what is your desired result. Where are you headed? So let's say that you want to, let's say you want to climb Mount Timpanogos. That's something that is on my list of things to do. It's on my dream board. Which sounds silly to some of you. Some of you are like, man, I did that when I was in 5th grade. But to be fair, I moved here from California in high school. I could not breathe. It's like 5,000 feet elevation here compared to 0. So I have not climbed Mount Timpanogos yet. And that is something on my board that I will be doing this summer. So my desired result there at the end in the light blue is climb Mount Timpanogos. And my current reality is, I can probably walk 3 to 5 miles right now on sidewalks, and I'm doing really good. I can do that. And I'm not out of breath. I don't feel super tired, but that's kind of my max capacity. So how am I going to get from there to a 10-mile uphill hike, up the mountain hike where I'm gaining 4,000, what is it, like 4,000 feet in elevation, I believe, over those 10 miles. So I know where I'm at, I know where I need to go. And then those secondary choices, I want to make sure I explain this right. So I am pulling up the explanation right now. Give me 2 seconds. Um, Sorry about that. For some reason, the explanation of that has totally left my mind. Okay, so secondary choices are the things that you need to do to get you to your desired results. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. So right now, I'm good at 3 to 5 miles walking in the city on pavement. Where I need to be is 10 miles, gaining 4,000 feet in elevation. So what can I do to help me get from where I am to where I'm headed? So what do you think? What are some things I can do to get where I'm headed? Well, I can keep practicing, keep walking every day, and maybe adding in a new mile every week, getting up to 10 miles. So I'm just walking around in the city 10 miles. That's definitely going to help. I can also start doing some hikes and do some shorter hikes, maybe a mile or two at a time where I'm gaining some significant elevation. I definitely need to continue eating well and drinking lots of water. I also need to work on my leg strength. I need to work on, anyway, there's lots of things, choices that I need to be making that are going to get me from where I am to where I need to be. So there's a lot of power in this because we have this cognitive dissonance inside us where we have this thing that we know we really want, but we know we're not there, and how are we going to get there? So there's a lot of power in this. It not only lays out what you need to be doing to get to where you want to go, but it really gives you a reality check. So this is the first step in getting what you want is figuring out where you are, where you want to go, and what's going to get you there. The next thing is really looking down and drilling down on creating habits. Now, I am not currently walking 10 miles a day. I am eating healthy. I am drinking lots of water. There's a lot of great habits I do have, but what habits do I need to get myself to that place where I can accomplish hiking Mount Timpanogos? So maybe one of those is getting up at 6 in the morning and going for a 10-mile walk. Okay, so if that's it, or going for a 10-mile bike ride. Maybe it's walking up the hill, walking around. I live at the bottom of a big hill, so maybe it's walking up the hill and around and up the hill a couple of times. So how am I going to start to create these habits to help me get to where I need to go? First, you have to have a cue. And then you have a routine that you do, and then a reward for that routine. And this goes in a big circle. And so here's what that might look like. So let's say it's getting up early in the morning, getting up at 6. So my cue, first of all, I need to go to bed early, right? Because that's an important step in getting to being able to get up early. So perhaps I have a cue in the evening where at 10 o'clock, when I see the clock hit 10 o'clock, that's my cue to get in bed. And if I get in bed by 10 o'clock, my reward is that I can get up by 6. And so that helps me. That's the first step in getting to walking those 10 extra miles, or those 10 miles a day that I need to walk. So does that make sense? So here's another thing. Let's say I want to drink more water. Perhaps my cue is every time I eat a bite in my meal, I take a drink of water. So the cue is taking a bite of food. And the routine is drinking water between each bite of food. And the reward is that I get that water in. So all of these things are well researched. You can read books on the habit loop and creating habits, and you're going to see all of this stuff there. But these are two of the very basic and important pieces of really getting what you want. So if you understand where you are and where you're headed, what you need to do to get there, and then those things that you need to do, you create habits around them using this model, you're going to be able to get what you want. So I know this was short and sweet and to the point, but um, comment on this webinar or like it or love it, and I will message you a free structural tension chart. It's going to look a lot better than this. This was just a basic graphic I wanted to put up, but it's actually going to be something you can use to work through where you are, where you're headed, and what you need to do to get there. So I'm excited for you guys to do this, and I am excited to see how many of you guys are able to really create some lifelong transformation using these foundational principles of change. And I'm also excited to see you guys tomorrow night as I go live again with my awesome client, Stephanie Sparks, and as we talk about creating a healthy mindset. Have a wonderful evening. And again, if you want that a link to that free structural tension chart, comment or like, and feel free to share this with your friends as well. We'll see you guys later. Have a wonderful evening.